Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here today. We have broadcasting live from Park City, Utah, and Calabasas, California, in Miami, Florida. So thank you all for spending some time here. We got about half hour, 45 minutes, maybe more, depending on how many questions you all have. We have a lot of people that are going to be signing on today. So thank you for that. And also, we'll get to as many questions as possible. So as you think of them, you can put them in the chat box in the Q&A. You know, the standard Zoom housekeeping here. We can't hear or see you, but we can certainly watch your questions in the chat box in the Q&A, and they are most welcome. Before we get started, just wanted to mention that I'm super excited to have Stuart and Brian, and I've actually been involved, full disclosure, also with joy and enthusiasm with Stuart and Brian almost from the beginning or shortly after. And so as an advisory board member, and I do have skin in the game, again, full disclosure here. So super exciting stuff that's happening, a lot of progress that's been made. And so I really happy to share all this with you today. And I think you're going to find it not only interesting, but rewarding. So with that, Stuart, welcome.
Thank you.
The Fly app by Airtherium lets you book a private jet at the speed of voice. Book me a flight from New York to Los Angeles. And getting started couldn't be easier. Begin by signing up for a new account. Pick a username, enter your email address, and set a password. From the home screen, tap the profile button to enter your personal information, like name, phone number, and date of birth. You can customize your flight preferences, car service preferences, and food preferences. To book a flight, you'll need to purchase FlyCash, which is our digital currency built upon our own private blockchain. You can purchase FlyCash with Bitcoin, Litecoin, credit card, or PayPal. The Fly app will access real-time price data to calculate exchange rates. Now you're ready to book a flight, which couldn't be easier thanks to our voice-activated AI. Simply tell the Fly app where you want to go, like, book me a flight from New York to Las Vegas. The app will show you all the available flight legs for your query. It will display the aircraft type with photos and pricing. Once you select your desired flight, we will confirm your booking. From the home screen, tap the timeline icon to review your upcoming flights. If you're planning to travel with other passengers, you can create an affinity group to share important information about your trip with your group. Tap the flight that you would like to create the group for, tap Create Group, add a photo for your group, give your group a title, tap the menu icon in the upper right to add members, now your whole party can chat right in one convenient place. And that's it. You're all set to hit the skies in style.
Excellent. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you. Thank all of you for getting on and for today and hearing our offering. I'll just give you guys, all of you, an introduction, a brief intro of myself. I am the CEO and chairman of Fly Air Inc. and Fly Air, a new domicile company out of Bermuda called Fly Air International. I was a musician back in the day. I was an aspiring, multi-talented, 13-instrument played artist that came from Pittsburgh. I moved to California to pursue the music dream. And what happened was the file sharing, which did a little switch. which changed our whole careers and our lives as far as digital to physical sales. What that did was help me understand a new pavement of my career and went into aviation. I went forward to become a multi-type rated pilot aviator, mid-sized jet down, and I did mostly all of my piloting in charter at a private aviation out of Elite Aviation out of Van Nuys Airport. With these type ratings, it was a friend that told me to learn the business of aviation, you have to become a pilot because they understand aviation beyond just the business, but they understand the clientele and they're always in real time with management and crew resource setups. With that, I was able to go forward into command and control software with drone systems, and then move into another paradigm was blockchain. I met some very interesting OGs in the blockchain world, and we partnered up, and they came up with this great idea to provide solutions to the aviation industry. So we started with one of many of our products called the Fly app, which is recently, last year, it was released into the App Store as our product, and it allows people to book flights on demand. What we did is we coupled voice integration, artificial intelligence, as you see, with a very deep back-end booking setup, which you'll be able to see, to allow people to effectively not only book and settle flights, but they can also do affinity flights with corporate or their experiences, or just with their friends or their family members to travel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you.
Before you do that, Stuart,
Yes.
I can't help but do this. So for the record, OG is not an aviation or a blockchain term.
Yes.
It's original gangster. So I just wanted everybody to know that I knew that.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. I'm going to show you what we are into here. So as you see here, we are changing the way you interact with private aviation. Why are we doing that? So here's our market overview. The aviation industry supports 2.7 trillion in the world's GDP. Our private aviation industry generates revenues over 20 billion and 34, even more than that, 35 billion by 2025. Global business aviation has more than 21,000 aircrafts operating, and the number will surpass 28,000 unit mark in 2026. And it's growing ever so more in the forecasting periods in the future. The US charter has seen more than 10% increase in the number of flights and 12% boost in flight hours. And then another thing in the ad is virtual currency markets.
And that's actually 2 trillion now.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you
growing
for
so fast. We can't keep
so
up
fast.
with it.
Now, what's the problems with our industry? We see ownership of private jets is cost prohibitive and for most people. Legacy charter companies are slow and unresponsive. Few private jet companies can handle cryptocurrency, and none of them are running on their own blockchain like we are. The inability to split or share flights with friends and colleagues, that's a big one. Limited aircraft and flight ability leading for lack of choice, another one. So our solution, we solve these problems by connecting members to the private jet carriers directly in their region with an aggregation data for all available routes and providing them with the most optimal flights using our AI-powered mobile application. So our application, as you saw in the video, is the Fly app. It's powered by artificial intelligence, and it allows you to book flights easily. And this is something that we're going to be introducing right away, is our Fly Miles program, or AKA Fly Token. Flyers tokens are issued on an ERC20 smart contract. This is something in blockchain for those who know, and are awarded members who fly frequently with our platform. Members are able to reserve and pay for their travel on demand. Fly tokens have built-in progressive rewards with discounts on flights based on members' total usage and rewards are tiered by members leveling up like gamification, wherever you surpass designated thresholds. Our business model is built on servicing private aviation industry as a whole by connecting members to independent carriers and curating their data, all of their data, on the application Fly. Fly makes money by taking a percentage of all reservations made on our platform. Fly Air acts as 5 light concierge, adding value by giving members a unique personal travel and experience. So this is an analysis. I kind of look at it where people ask questions of who we compare ourselves or what's the competition. We see ourselves stand alone, but this is something that we laid out. We're faster, we're smarter. As far as our book query, our system on the back end through our for easy to use UI UX on the front end, it's on the smartphone. We've integrated an AI blockchain that cuts costs and increase efficiency. We have offered 3 classes of aircraft, and then soon we'll be offering more classes as we grow in the demand. Fly is global. We're always on demand, 24/7. And we do something different. We accept alternative currencies, Bitcoin. To this point, we accept the 11 top cryptocurrencies. This is our team. You see me. There's Brian Santos, our Chief Operating Officer that you see on the call. We have a great Chief Technology Officer, Joshua Bijak, who's done a lot of work for the UN, a lot of coding, and Chris Allen Technologies, who's great with our engineering. He's done a lot of stuff for big enterprise corporations. Arthur Bavelas, as you see, is our investor relations advisor. Steve Beauregard, who's a aviation specialist, and he's in blockchain. Patrick Seller, who's marketing out of Chicago, and Michael Turpin out of Puerto Rico and Vegas and Miami with our blockchain and advisory. These are some of our milestones. Recruited a team of professionals in aviation, artificial intelligence, and blockchain and traditional finance all together. We've accumulated a 6-figure seed round to build out funding for the team and the MVP. We got accepted into the National Business Aviation Association, a trade associated that lobbies on the behalf of interests of private jet and the corporate jet owners. We received approvals, this is a big thing, for our business model as a FDIC insured bank in Wyoming. We established partnerships with top aviation data aggregators. We built a working MVP, Fly, that incorporates AI, blockchain, and on-demand concierge services for the entire aviation industry. And we launched Fly Air on the Apple App Store. So this is where we go and show you the Fly app and its demonstration of what it looks like. But before we go and show you, I want to talk to you about our Fly Air International travel. Is we have a domicile, a company out of Bermuda called Fly Air International. And with that, I'm going to show you some of the things. Brian, could you share a screen of our incorporation?
Can you see it?
Yes, as you see here, we have the incorporation was on March 4th, March 3rd, and it was registered on the 4th. Amazing. And then what we did we talked to pretty much all the Bermudian lawyers and counsels. And by the help of our colleague and premier, David Burt, he was the one to receive us in Bermuda, give us the let's say approvals and the backings and support. And then he brought in the Bermuda Monetary Authority to bring in and give us this. So the lawyers is what gave us our permission letter as approval letter for our DABA. And this is what you see. And then finally is our exchange, where the Bermuda Monetary Authority recognizes Fly Air International as the ability to do global exchange and digital asset with multiple currencies.
I just wanted to also show everyone the signature from the office of the Minister of Finance here. That gives in our registration number, which shows that we're tax protected under the Tax Protection Act in Bermuda. So I wanted to add that too.
Thank you. That was a great comment for that. And so what we're going to do next is show you the Fly app and how it performs. And then on the other side, we're going to show you the dashboard on the back end of how intricate the flight bookings happen.
All right. So I guess this is the part where I take over. How's everyone doing today? My name is Brian Santos. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Fly Air. And we've developed a really cool application called the Fly app, which lets anyone book private travel on demand using artificial intelligence and blockchain to make the experience easier, faster, and cheaper than anything that's available on the existing marketplace. So if you give me 1 second here and I'll start sharing my screen. All right, can you guys see that?
Absolutely.
All right, so as soon as you start the Fly app, you're greeted with 7 buttons. We've crafted a series of functionalities that make the user experience as easy as possible. The first one being the trending routes button. This is an algorithm that we get from our backend that shows us the flights that are most booked on the system. So you can see here that our top flight is Los Angeles to Las Vegas. It's a one-click process, and I'm able to pull pricing from over 3,000 fixed-base operators around the world instantly. And these are all the fixed-base operators that are currently sitting in Los Angeles, LAX, as well as Van Nuys Airport. The next feature I'd like to show you guys is our timeline. And on here, you can see all of the flights that I have booked through the system, and also their flight status. And the flight status that I'm showing you right now has an entire back-end process that we've developed that allows our concierges to do hand-in-glove services. So whenever you book a flight through the Fly app, there's always a human in the loop to make sure that you're having a phenomenal experience through one of our operators. And then we have the Affinity Groups functionality. This is an exciting feature that we've developed that essentially allows people to pool flights together. So if you have someone that you want to fly with, whether it's a friend or a colleague, and you want to share in on the cost of a flight, you can create a peer-to-peer group within the app and coordinate and pay for your flight on a split basis. The next screen we have is our profile preferences page. And this essentially allows you to customize your flight. So what we've noticed in the past year since we've been operating is that some of our clients are very particular, and they have different tastes depending on their background or who they are. And we customize every single flight tailored directly to the client's needs. And we plug in with the operators to make sure that everything is on par with what the client wants to see on the flight. So if they're vegan, make sure that the food on the flight is vegan. If they need a bed to sleep on, we make sure that a bed is made available, and those customization options transfer to every single booking that they make through the Fly app. The next section that I want to show you, which is really important and enables a lot of the stuff to function properly, is our wallet integration. As you can see here, we have a Fly cash balance on the Fly app, and you can load this Fly cash balance, as Stu was saying earlier, with Bitcoin or some of the top virtual currencies, but you can also load it with fiat currencies as well. We do have an integration with Stripe through a partnership that we did with them that can take up to $1 million. And we also take bank wire as a deposit method as well. And the Fly token, which runs on top of Ethereum, and we'll get into in 1 second. Now let's go ahead and do a search here. for an event that is taking place this year on November 30th in Miami. It's actually called the Art Basel. And we will be having a big event this year that all of you are invited to come to. So we're doing Long Island to Miami. We'll do it for November. And we're going to pull search query. So as you can see here, I get a wide array of options for travel from Long Island, New York to Miami. And there's a variety of options that we offer, from turboprop jets all the way up to specialized heavies. Boeing business jets, G5s, all the way down to King Air 250s. So we offer this dynamic experience to our customers in real time. And one of the things that I'm going to show you guys, which is our biggest functionality, and one of the things that we're very excited about, is our voice integrated AI. And for that, I'm going to have to stop sharing my screen here. And we're going to query the same flight using our voice. Check this out. Show me flights from Long Island to Miami, November 30th. So as you can see here, the app pushes the request into our system and gives us exactly what we need, which is KISP to KMIA, which is Long Island to Miami. And now what I think the next phase of the operations too is I'm gonna actually book this flight and you're gonna show us what that looks like on the back end.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and what are we gonna buy here? Okay, this Learjet 35 for $15,000. It's a 7-passenger plane, so that means only 7 people on the call can come with us. And then as you see here, it's confirming. Okay. And then it says here, our order has been successfully submitted. I'll show you the email that we get from Fly Air. It tells the client, your flight has been submitted, gives them the route, gives them the desired price, the type of plane. And now Stuart, who is acting out as our concierge for this call, he will now show us.
I will show you the back end.
What the back end shows.
And as soon as he's pushed that booking request, I did receive it on my phone, just in case I wasn't by the computer. Everything is optimized. It shows flights and like that. There we go. And what I'll show you is what it looks like on the background. So as you see here, Brian Santos has ordered the passenger jet from Islip, Long Island MacArthur, to Miami at $15,000. So I'm going to validate that flight. I see that the flight came through, and I'm going to, the fixed base operator has sent it. I'm going to confirm the flight, but the price is cheaper. We just found out the aircraft is from the fixed base operator is $14,000 all in. because we've noticed in the past that flights have changed, aircraft assets have changed, and the depending on configuration, all the things that go on with the aircraft, the price have changed. So what I'm going to do is push it over to him at 14,000 and see if he would accept this. And if it says here, admin confirmed payment, and you see it's changed from 15,367 to 14,000 even. Okay. So what I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to send this over. I'm going to send this over for Brian. And Brian, you can show on your screen what you received.
Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sharing this now. Shows the payment has been confirmed. And now I'm ready to go on my trip to Art Basel in Miami.
Nice.
And what I can do is show you on the screen, on the back end, payment is confirmed and he is all set to go. And we have all the details on the list, and we can move on forward.
Yeah, so one of the things I'm going to do now is take the final few minutes to talk about the offering today and how this incorporates itself with the application. And I'm going to share my screen now, Stu, so I'm going to kick you off. One of the reasons why, we're all here today is to talk about the opportunity at hand and how this application can revolutionize the entire aviation industry. And I think I think we've done that with the Fly token. And in order to do the Fly token, we created a new company called Fly International out of Bermuda. And the Fly International Ltd is launching the world's first ever blockchain-powered rewards program. And I'll get into a little bit more about what that means in a bit. But the rewards token is essentially called Fly, and it's going to have a ticker symbol on Ethereum, which is FLY, in the same way that Bitcoin has BTC or Ethereum has ETH. Fly will be the official rewards token for the Fly app that is actually currently available for download on the App Store. So anybody on the call right now or anyone viewing the video after, you can go on the App Store and type in Fly Air and download the app immediately. This is no longer a concept product. It's a product that is out in production, out in the real world. And the Fly app essentially allows you to book private jet travel instantly anywhere in the world, as you guys just saw us demonstrate a few seconds ago. On the Fly token, the rewards that are associated with the travel are given to people on a flight by flight basis. So every time you travel, you earn Fly tokens, and those Fly tokens are deposited directly into your account and bring benefits like discounted flights, priority access to all inventory, and hand in glove concierge services. So the Fly tokens will have a deep integration to the Ethereum blockchain. And I wanted to go over some of the features and why we believe the Fly token and the Fly miles are better than traditional mile programs. The first one being real-time pricing through Uniswap, which is essentially a decentralized exchange on top of the Ethereum network that gets rid of middlemen and finds you the best price for purchasing flights with your Fly tokens, guaranteed. So that means that it's cryptographically sound to give you the best possible deal and to protect your rewards in a fashion that is unhackable. You also get Fly progressive rewards. So that means that the more you fly, the more you earn, and also the bigger the discounts. The Fly miles, they never expire because the tokens are part of a blockchain. The tokens are essentially there forever and cannot be confiscated, lost, or voided. I'm sure a lot of you are aware that there are a lot of air mile programs out there that do expire or that have blackout dates. None of that exists with the Fly token. There's a limited supply of 1 billion Fly tokens in existence. And as the ecosystem grows, and there's a natural number of never inflating, it produces a natural scarcity. And then the Fly tokens are forever redeemable. We will redeem them on the app, no matter how the market prices them. You will always be able to use them for travel on Fly Air. And we launched our Fly Miles token sale on July 1st, 2021 at an initial price of a penny per fly. And we're currently doing a purchase round of 3.6 million for the purposes of incubating the ecosystem, growing the marketing side of our company, and essentially developing all the technologies that we want to develop as we continue to grow the company. So I opened up the current roadmap for the tokenomics. As I said before, the max token supply is 1 billion. And the market cap at the initial DEX offering is going to be $40 million at 4 cents per token. This is the current distribution breakdown of the proceeds of the token sale. 25% of it will go towards app and mobile development. Another 20% of it will go towards marketing and customer acquisition through the forms of social media marketing, Google AdWords, and direct marketing in person and virtual. And 15% will go towards the Uniswap liquidity lock, which means that we will essentially create a flow that gets locked up for the purposes of fulfilling transactions so that there's always liquidity. The rest is here pretty much self-explanatory. And then what's important to make a point of is that there will be lockup periods for people who participate in the VIP and private rounds. And those lockup periods will essentially vest the purchasers into their whole supply. So every month for participating in the this round of funding, you will be credited your Fly tokens based on a predictable growth curve. And yeah, that's pretty much it here, you guys.
Okay, so thanks for that. It was excellent. And let me ask a couple questions about that I know people are thinking of.
Okay, perfect.
And then we'll go into the other questions we had prior. Is the raise a combination of selling tokens and equity, or just tokens at the moment?
At the moment, just tokens, but we're open to conversations with people who are interested on the equity side as well. But right now, we're having a pretty good success in selling Fly Miles because people want it. And the way I like to explain it is we're sort of like the Costco model, whereas all the other guys, they charge a huge markup, or they charge a large membership fee to bring you that preferential pricing. We do neither. We essentially provide a service where the Fly Miles are your membership. And through that interaction, the more you use the application, the more discounts you get, to the point where the Fly Miles become a necessity for getting the type of discounts that our clients are looking for.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to go a little bit out of order here because this is germane to the subject discussion now. And you're going to like this. Are you willing to re-domicile to US or Puerto Rico if you're to receive a significant enough investment? So you don't have to answer that, but just, you can if you want, but you probably need to talk to somebody about
We
that.
would need to talk about that because we have a deep connection with the premier himself, David Burt. He's Brian Santos's friend. I mean, it's about relationship, but not only the relationships. We've been able to, back from 2019 October, is have deep relationships and understanding of the laws and the legalities and compliances that go on with Bermuda and the trust. So it's a proof of trust that the government and the monetary authority is something that we establish. So if there's something that we can efficiently do that in Puerto Rico, I mean, we've sat in Puerto Rico with our advisor, right? And before the Bermuda play, and we talked about this. We talked about this with our advisor, and we saw that, you know, with the Bermuda was making this big push about their digital asset and saying that come to our island and use us as a test, as a proof of concept and viability. And Bermuda is the largest in insurance provider for the globe. So there's a lot of that comes with it. I would say this is the Queen's backyard. So we have a lot of high-end movement that comes in and out of from Europe and beyond. But if there is an opportunity for us to do other places, we are interested into it because we did talk about other locations as a necessity.
Yeah, if it makes sense, I mean, our advisor, Michael Turpin, is one of the leaders in the Puerto Rican Silicon Valley experiment that's taking place over there. And part of his, advice to us was, do it in steps. Do the things that you need to do first, and then if it makes sense, we'll go into Puerto Rico, we'll go into Singapore, we'll go into Malta. But we are a global company at the end of the day. So
in the pricing, how does the pricing compare to anything else?
The pricing has been, we've noticed, from the charter industry that a broker in the industry could take from 2% all the way up to 50% of commission fees, and then add that on top of the flight. And then they hand that over to the client, and the client books it. And because we've noticed this, doing the research, going through the process live with our clientele, and then, going out and, people are A-being, it wasn't us, it was just the clientele, the customers that were saying, wow, oh, you guys happen to be cheaper for some reason. The reason is because we have direct aggregation connection and we guarantee assets at the price. So it's usually a broker thing that pads these types of situations. And our ability to give you a window to the fixed base operators and vice versa. It's a big need for the fixed base operators to have a window to the clientele because they're the ones that are making the decisions ultimately.
Totally makes sense. Brian, you want to, can you see the questions there?
So I think the first one I'm going to go ahead and answer is how do you guarantee the redeemability of the fly token if the token price collapses? How does the company have enough assets to guarantee such a claim? So essentially, we pay what the market is pricing the tokens for. We don't see the token price ever experiencing some type of black swan event where the liquidity pool is completely drained and we run with the money, or there's some type of rug pull. This is not that type of situation. But if the price can go down, I mean, it's cryptocurrency. It can go up as well. That's why there's a risk and there's also an opportunity in the same effect. But we will have our own liquidity pool through Clarion Bank out of Bermuda, through a licensed custodian, because I also saw that was another question that she was asking. And we're going to essentially have this liquidity pool available to us in order to fulfill flights, which is something that we already do. We're not a concept company. We already do flights on a monthly basis. We just did a huge flight, for instance, to Bitcoin Miami 2021 on was a Challenger 650. It's a mid-sized jet. And we're doing, 2 or 3 of these every month now. So we're starting to build up that revenue capacity, and we understand how that part of the business works. We also understand how the virtual currency side of the business works as well. And we understand that we always need to keep enough operational flow in our custodian accounts to be able to fulfill flights. So the price is different than the actual liquidity at hand, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You could have millions of dollars in liquidity and the price might stay stagnant for a year, or it might do a double up or a triple up, or it might go down 20%. We really don't know where it's going to go. What we do know is that if we can grow this ecosystem and we can build this technology out to the vision and the goals that we all need it to, then we believe that there will be some type of appreciation. Next question, what is Fly Token's liquidity market cap? So I actually go back to the document to answer that. So right now, at a penny, let's see here, we're looking at about a $10 million market cap as of right now. And that's on the current VIP round, which is almost closed. That one is for $500,000. And then once the VIP round is closed, we get bumped up immediately to 2 pennies. So that doubles up our valuation to 20 million. Our goal is to obviously make this company worth as much money as possible and make the token as valuable and as liquid as possible, so that eventually we can scale to not just private aviation, but also the commercial world as well. One of my personal goals is to be able to talk to the app like you would Orbitz or Expedia and tell it to book me a business or first class ticket to Europe tomorrow and be able to pay with the Fly token. That's something that I want to see happen. And the only way we do that is if we build out the ecosystem. There's another Fly listed on CoinGecko. Are you going to buy that Fly off that company? No. This is, there's several coins that unfortunately share tickers. It's a big space. And we want to launch the Fly token on Ethereum and be the Fly for Ethereum and Uniswap. And, if there's somebody chooses to copy us, then, that's their problem. But this is something that we've been working on for the last couple of years. And it's something that we've been using. The only thing is it's still not listed on Uniswap yet. That doesn't happen until we hit our benchmarks per our what our attorneys are requiring from us, as well as our banking relationships and our investment partners. So I think I answered most of your questions.
So there was a question in there about, and you've said it a couple of times, but let's just be clear. The tech is all built out. There's obviously things on the roadmap, but everything's in good working order and you're booking flights. And, this is something that you can actually use and works today.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I come from, my past is music industry, and, everything is about proof of work. You have to have a product. It's what it is. So when I came into this aviation, same thing, proof of work. We have to deliver you A to B, safety, crew resource management, everything. So when we got into establishing a token, right, and getting into this business that's on the side of another part of our business, it was proof of work, proof of concept. So everything that we had to usher through was to have that for the banks, the compliances, the governments, the agencies, and the customers. So that's why we have a live app out now. And then that's why we're having this conversation now.
Okay, there's some more good questions that are coming in, and I want to answer all of them because they're great. So are we working with Wheels Up and other platforms? So we are working with Wheels Up. We're working with Wheels Up. We're working with NetJets.
Everybody.
We're working with anyone who owns planes. And then on top of that, we're also talking to Jet Suite and a few of our quote unquote competitors who don't really see us as a competitor. They actually see us as a potential partner because of our blockchain integration and our AI integration and all the really cool things that we built. So there is a possibility that we could be providing technology services for them in the near future, or maybe even some type of deeper or meaningful partnership. And so this is a really good question. How do you avoid being named as security if you are raising money and using that money in your company? So we are not raising money. We are selling air miles. And we have an exemption, which I think I just showed you guys when Stuart was speaking, from the Bermuda Monetary Authority, which classifies us as an air miles rewards program. And the product in this instance is air miles, as determined by Bermuda and also by our attorneys in Wyoming and hopefully soon Washington, D.C. It's something that we're very, very excited and passionate about. And the Fly token is essentially a utility token.
We did register in Wyoming first as a blockchain services in order to accomplish a few things. First is proof of trust with the banks that allow us to do this type of services. Second thing was to build the application and raise untraditional funding through crypto. Then we grew as a company and became where we can gain partnerships and alliances. So we formulated FlyAir Inc. out of Delaware, which houses the IPs and everything under, including the Wyoming setup. And then as we started approaching the Fly Miles program, that's when we started researching, what territories we can actually essentially be a global operation. And that's why we did FlyAir International. Let's see. So we do have banks, Wyoming, banks in California, and we have banks in Bermuda at this point. Oh, are we deciding landing fees, fuel, et cetera, and all that? Basically, the fixed base operators handle these things. They're the experts. They're the ones that are doing that. The fees that we go over is the overall fee that makes sure that it is the right asset and aircraft and verified things beyond that. I hope that answers the question for that.
So I think that answer is, it's not any more or less than it would otherwise be for the things that you have to pay for anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're just saying if we decided, it's usually decided through the fixed base operation. They're the ones that handle it. For instance, if you're flying to Vegas, you're going either to Henderson or Vegas International, McCarran International. So, it's cheaper to land into Henderson. The storage fees and hangar fees and all these things are cheaper at Henderson. So are we deciding it? No, but we know where our client should be and what the prices are, and we make sure that that is correct. Okay,
great. So do you want to just, Brian, scan that list real quick, just in case we miss something?
Yeah, sure.
Super cool for all you folks being here with us today and then asking smart questions. We really appreciate it.
I love the questions. Yeah, they're very smart.
No, that's all. Just for everyone in here, I'm going to post a link to download the app on the App Store. Unfortunately, we're only available for the iPhone right now. We're currently finishing up the Android version, so that should be out in the next couple of months as well. And then also look out for us at Nikki Beach 2021 Art Basel. I think it's going to be a really fun experience. We're going to fly a lot of big names out, and it's going to be live art, it's going to be food, drinks, and hopefully a lot of a lot of flights getting booked as well.
That's great. So Helen asked twice, so let's answer it. The price changed to 14,000. When you held up your phone, Brian, it said 11,500.
Did you show the 11,500 flight from last time? Can you re-show that flight? Go back to that flight.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened is that Stuart discounted the flight, and let me see here.
And I could show that on the background as well. Yeah, I discounted the flight because I saw the fixed base operator was, the aircraft was different. So I offered the flight at a different.
Yeah, we kind of complicated our own pitch a little bit, but we wanted to show you guys the functionality on the back end.
No, that actually makes even more sense because you know, having it all automated and then having someone checking on and taking advantage of noticing it's a different aircraft. So now it's a different price, right?
Well, it's the same aircraft, but what ends up well, yes, you're right. It's a different aircraft in the sense that maybe what they had before wasn't available anymore, and they're trying to make the deal happen. So I just got to be very clear with everyone on this call. The flights that are shown are real planes, they're real assets, they're real fixed-based operators, but they're still just quotes. The way private aviation works is you pick the plane that you want, you collect the money, and then you go to the operator, and the operator tells you if it's going to be available for that price or not. There's times where the plane that you want isn't available. Maybe
or like the landing gear collapse for the Fox flight, you know, and we had the operator changed the aircraft because they landed and blew a tire. You know, these things happen, so we have to
adjust.
Adjust. You know, this is real world, real time things that happen.
Not any different than booking any other flight, right?
But we had to build the integration on the backside. That's why we want to show you that it has to happen on the digital side as well as just people changing prices and things happening with landing gear or assets not being available because the owner has suddenly changed his mind and he wants to go to Puerto Rico or something.
Yeah, she's asking the price 11,500 automatically without anyone's ability to verify it. No, so it's
you want to go through the motions again with the booking and show her the process?
Well, I don't think we have time for that, but it's a hand in glove service. So that means that when you book something on the app, you're going to probably get an email from Stuart and I. And then that's worked out in the background. So if the plane comes back more expensive or less expensive, you're going to hear from one of our concierges, and you're going to authorize that charge before. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So no need to go through the process again.
Got it. Yep.
So this has been super helpful, and you guys did a great job.
There is a human in the loop component to everything that we're doing. And that's why we want to grow the company and build out the technology to the point where maybe we have AI managing all these different intricacies. But what we've learned is that our clientele, they want somebody involved in the process. Because if they're wiring you $30,000, $40,000 for a flight, they $50,000, $100,000 sometimes. They want to make sure that somebody's there managing the experience. So the app makes it easy to search for inventory, makes it easy to check out routes, both seasonal and on demand last minute. And it gives us a reference point based on the profile preferences, based on the cost basis, based on the necessary amount of clientele to what to look for from our operators on the back end. And then we push that experience back to the customer through the application.
So super great. And awesome. Thanks for clearing that up.
We answered all the questions.
Yeah. So here's the what everybody needs to know. We're going to make sure that everybody who is on the call and RSVP will put you in touch with Stuart and Brian, and so you can ask further questions, dig deep as you like, and see if this is something of interest to you. Obviously, you can be a customer, you can be a token buyer. You can buy awards or tokens, is I guess the right way to put it. And so you're welcome to chat further with them. We'll make sure we put everybody in touch. We're also going to post this, if it's okay with you guys, Brian Stewart, on the Family Office Insights YouTube channel as a recording of the webinar. So if for whatever reason there's somebody in your world that may want to, take a look at it and fast forward, or review the webinar because they might be interested in this sort of thing, you're welcome to send them off to the Family Office Insights YouTube channel as well. So super big thank for you guys. So glad to be part of it and really, really appreciate it. You guys probably figured out we're friends, not just helping things along here. So glad to be friends with these guys. And again, thank you for spending the only thing you can't make more of, and that's your time with us today. Till next time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.